Well, here we go, lads and lasses. Welcome back to 100% Mags. We are back in action tomorrow night. 8 o'clock is Newcastle live on Amazon Prime this time as we take on Qarabag for the second leg of the knockout playoffs in the Champions League. We are already pretty much cert to go through with a 6-1 lead coming into this. Absolutely mauled them out in Baku in Azerbaijan. And of course, we have had a Man City game sandwiched between these two fixtures. We did, of course, come away from that one 2-0 defeat against Man City, but we did give Man City a really good game, especially after having an intense match against Qarabag. Yes, it was a pretty easy win, but it was still a 5,000-mile journey that we had to endure to go there and then, of course, come back. And all of the time differences as well between the kicking off of the Man City game and not much time for the players to rest. So we did really well, I thought, in that game against Man City. But now we're going into this game against Qarabag, second leg at St James's Park, 8 o'clock kickoff, and we are going into it obviously with a 6-1 lead. This is a chance for us to probably record one of the best aggregate scores any team will ever be able to get. Of course, with us already having in our records back in 1994 against Antwerp a 10-2 aggregate score, beating, of course, Antwerp back then in the UEFA Cup. This is a chance to better that as we are going into this one with a 6-1 lead. So we just need to get to that 10 goal mark and then see where we can go from there, see if we can extend it even further. Of course, this is going to be an interesting one, of course, because Qarabag are coming into this one without playing a game at all. They've had a blank weekend ahead of the visit to Tyneside after the Azerbaijan FA allowed them to postpone their game on Saturday against, of course, league side Nufc Baku, I believe it's pronounced. Sorry if I've butchered the name there, but they have had a blank weekend ahead of this fixture. But even with that blank weekend, we've heard their manager saying that he's not really looking up to this one. He's not looking forward to this one. He's talking about his squad going into it as well. They've had very little time to train, which they've trained over in Azerbaijan. They won't be training here. They're coming over here very short period of time as well from the day of the match. So that tells you all you need to know right now. I think, Qarabag have already pretty much written this one off. They have written it off as a loss. They're 6-1 down going into it. And I think the manager is probably going to put out a weakened side. And if that's the case, when you look at it, we beat probably their best side, I would say, that they had at their disposal, and we pretty much brushed that aside with ease with a 6-1 win. So looking at it, if they put out a weaker side, that's going to be an absolute mauling for Qarabag, and it's going to 100% certify that we go through to the next round. We're already pretty much there anyway. We're 6-1 up. I don't really see Qarabag turn that around, to be honest, especially with the way they were playing against. We're out in Azerbaijan. I think, we do have this in the bag, and that means that we do have either Barcelona or Chelsea in the next round. Which, with that in mind, which would be your preference? Would it be Barcelona? Would it be Chelsea? Who would be your preference to take on in the next round of the Champions League, and how far do you think we could actually go in the Champions League as well if we were to get past that match against Chelsea or Barcelona? Let us know that down in the comments below. Score prediction going into this game, I mean, it was 6-1 in Azerbaijan. It could literally be any crazy scoreline, so I'm going to go with something absolutely out of this world. I'm going to see Newcastle come away with a 10-1 win against Azerbaijan, against Qarabag. Of course, I'd say a 10-1 win against them, and of course, us coming away with a win, which would mean that would beat them 16-2 on aggregate. That would be a really good win in Newcastle going through, of course, to the next round to take on Chelsea or Barcelona. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. However, lads.